Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to do a small update on the Cooler Master Box Lite 3.1 mods. Okay, so we've done a few videos now on the Master Box 3.1 and its ongoing struggle to maintain some kind of decent temperature inside the chassis. Now, I've had emails and messages from a lot of you out there, so thank you very much for your input. It's been fantastic to see what kind of rigs you guys are running and what modifications you're making to your own cases, so that's absolutely brilliant. Keep them coming. Look forward to seeing them in my inbox all the time. There's been some pretty interesting ones actually. Some people have actually cut out the entire front panel from the acrylic and put in like a mesh front. And there's one guy who's actually put in 5 1/4 inch bay filters down this side panel, two people, one on each side, so letting a lot more airflow in. I'm still really hesitant about taking any kind of power tool to that front acrylic anywhere that's visible because my hands aren't the steadiest. I've got a bit of a shake to me, so I'd rather not attack the front too much. I've done the top, I've done the bottom, and that is about as much as I'm willing to do on there. And also, in my opinion, although these guys have had some excellent results, I think it kind of spoils the whole point of having that dark mirror front panel when you start taking bits out of it. That's just my opinion. What you guys do, entirely up to you. Kudos to you for having the balls to do it, because I certainly haven't. But anyway, I'm digressing. So the modifications I've made to it now. So I've taken a few more little snips from the front of the acrylic, right up into the corners. If you've got one of these cases, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So where the filters, top and bottom, reside, I've cut out all that plastic insert in there, so the filters are never going to go back in, but in my mind there's no point in having filtration if you're having overheating issues. So I've put in some more fans. I've put in 2 Arctic cooling fans in the front. That is the Arctic Cooling F12 PWMs. Put 2 of those in there and they seem to be working really well. At the moment it's running the Unigine Heaven benchmark, and we're still getting about 74, 75 on the graphics card. CPU with the Deep Cool Maelstrom 120 RGB cooler. Temperatures are staying pretty good on that, staying around in sort of mid 60s, so that's well within the tolerances for the Ryzen 2200G. Now what I've done is to allow a little bit more airflow, and this has actually prevented some of the crashes I was experiencing that I've been having with this GTX 780, which is an absolute monster to try and control thermally. Oh, that was a mouthful. So basically what I've done is I've got my snips out, tin snips, and I've cut out the grilled section from behind this acrylic front. Now surprisingly, this does actually offer considerable amount of resistance for the fans. So although you've only got a small intake top and bottom, this is actually still impeding the fans in some way, shape or form. And if you put that in front of you and try and blow through it, it gives you a very diffused air. You're not getting direct air. So this has removed any form of obstruction in the physical front of the fan. So not satisfied with just doing that for the 2 120s on the front. Couldn't stop myself, got a bit snip happy. And I also did the same for the 120 vent at the rear of the chassis. Now obviously, because this is the metal, it's never going to go back in, and that is it for these as far as I'm concerned. But it has actually allowed a lot more my hair has escaped. The hot air has escaping from the back of the chassis really nicely now. So without this impeding the radiator at all, there's a direct airflow coming straight out the back, and it's actually working much better. And I've been playing some games on there, CSGO, getting about 250 odd frames per second, letting it run completely flat out. Previously I was getting a few blue screens and crashes or overheating issues. With these modifications I've made, along with the cutouts on the front of the acrylic, this has been much better. Now I do recommend, if you're going to make any mods, this is a really good one to do because it's quite easy to do. You can do it with pliers or tin snips, just snip around the outside edges, take this piece out, and you have a completely unrestricted airflow on the front of your chassis. So that pretty much wraps up this update on the Cooler Master Box Lite 3.1 and the mods I've been making to it. What I'm also going to be doing in the very near future, possibly later on this evening or tomorrow, is I'm going to be adding these IGO R3 RGB fans. These are the Halo series. Now I've got one RGB fan in the back which looks kind of nice, but I could do with something on the front really. So I'll be taking out the Arctic Cooling Freezer F12s and replacing the entire set with these. So if you want to see the video for this, click on the link. It should be available pretty shortly. If not, subscribe to the channel, click on the chime icon. As soon as I've done the unboxing and video on this, you'll be able to watch it as soon as it comes out. So that's been my update on the Cooler Master Box Lite 3.1. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and we will catch you again in the very next video. Thanks for watching.